listening to Downworlder Dish, a Shadowhunter Chronicles podcast.
Hello and welcome to episode 59, where we are wrapping up City of Glass. Woo-hoo. I'm Kristen.
I'm Robin.
And I'm Amanda.
All right.
Sorry, I wooted right over the Kristen part.
That's fine.
If you don't know by now.
Right.
You know. Right. We're wrapping up the episode like Justin Timberlake wrapped up his dick in a box.
My dick in a box. Love it.
That's still probably the best sketch ever.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. I liked the, there was one that Justin Timberlake did with Jimmy Fallon, and they were like gift bags. I think it was sort of a similar one. Anyway, it's very funny. Then I sacked that deck because it was a deck of cards, and he put it in a sack.
That's funny.
Yeah. Anyway.
Nice. So, we wanted to do a quick reminder, since this entire chapter is just us chit-chatting. So we're not going to obviously chit-chat. But we wanted to give a quick reminder that we are moving forward with the Infernal Devices series. Next episode,
we're going to read the prologue, which is called Prologue. And chapter 1, The Dark House, which in my mind I keep reading as horse. So this is going to be fun.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
And I'll also remind you at the end, because I have to sign off like that.
Well, yeah, we have to maintain some sense of normalcy because these episodes are like wild card episodes.
Right.
You never know what's going to happen.
It's true. That's every fucking episode.
Fair enough.
I feel like we were a lot more on task when we started this whole adventure.
Yeah. But
faux shizzle.
We have gotten better about making our sidebars airworthy.
This is true.
Because they used to be really, really bad.
Well, they were really personal before, I think, too. And you had to cut a lot of it. Because it's like no one cares about what color your shoes were in third grade, Amanda. Or whatever.
I do. I care.
Thank you. Okay, so Kristen, you got us all these questions, and I think it's great. But I have something to ask before I forget.
Mm-hmm.
So, can I jump in?
Of course.
Awesome. Okay. So I was thinking as we were finishing our last episode, do you think, or maybe we find out later, I guess, I don't know, does Jocelyn just like magically become a shadow hunter again? Does she want to get back into this world, do you think?
I don't know. And I have the same question because I want to know, like, she's getting special treatment.
Faux shizzle.
Right?
Because she's a Mundy at this point, right?
Right. She's left the clave.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's done, like, the unforgivable. And she's supposed to, like, I mean, if it was anybody else in any other situation, she would have been, like, exiled and, like, I'm going to strip you of your marks. You're fucking Mundy now. Whatever. So I wonder, like, okay, so maybe she gets a pass on the last 16 years because she took the mortal cup from Valentine and was hiding it and all of the, like, for the better of the clave or whatever. Like, okay, you can lawyer that up and swing it, right? But now, like, I don't think she's, like, gonna be, like, hanging out at the Institute and, like, running shit and stuff.
Yeah.
So does she get special treatment because, like, her daughter saved the world?
And her husband, boyfriend, whatever they become someday.
Person slash.
Yeah, her person slash wolf. Yeah. And
her husband slash wolf.
Yeah. I love it. And then, like, because he has a seat on the council.
Yeah. I guess.
It would seem weird for her to not at least care.
Right. Because under what we...
I was going to cough, but I didn't need to.
Okay. Under what we know about clave law, like, Clary wouldn't even be able to, like, be associated with her.
Yes.
Right.
Which we know that's, like, obviously not going to happen because she's going to go back to live with her and Luke.
And maybe that's some of those old, like...
crusty rules.
Yes, exactly. And they're coming up with new shit. So they're just like, it's not important anymore. Or maybe it's because it's her. You're right. Like,
yeah.
She saved.
She's Jocelyn.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway. Or Fairchild. Sorry.
Yeah, Frey is just something it was from someone else or something, right?
Yeah.
I think we don't find out now.
No, we don't find out yet.
Okay. I just don't know what I would pick if I had to change my name. But when I was young and I used to have a filing job when I was like 15, I would see a lot of last names.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked the last name Funk, Funk.
Like Vern Funk.
Yes.
Insurance.
Yep. Wait, isn't he Funk?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Funk, like funky chicken.
Isn't there on Arrested Development? Isn't it like Funke, but it's like F-U-N-K? Yeah.
That's great.
I don't know. My fake name that I would always like give guys that I wasn't
The
interested.
police. No, I'm just kidding.
She's like, my name is Robin, R-O-B-I-N.
Renee. No, I would always give Tiffany was my fake name.
Oh, okay.
I don't look like a Tiffany at all, but it was like the one that always popped into my head.
Okay.
And so I was like, I'm just going with it.
Huh. Okay.
I don't know. You look like a Kristen and you look like an Amanda.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's no getting around it.
No.
It's been established.
Although I have had about 1,000 names.
This is true.
I used to change, like, you know, after years of therapy, I've learned that it was because of, you know, other deep-rooted issues. But I used to change, like, my name and my persona, like, every year. Every new school year, I was somebody different.
Okay.
I was, like, goth or punk, or when I moved to Texas, I became, like, super preppy. And yeah,
Okay.
I would just, like, change my entire, like, everything about myself.
I feel like I would want to be preppy in Texas too, because you could wear smaller clothes and be very hot.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. I wore like Hollister flip flops
Yep.
and like you remember those like tiered like floofy skirts?
Yes. Yes.
They were like cotton, but
Uh-huh.
they were like the ruffle tiers
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah,
with
that
a polo,
was like
right?
no, with a tank top and a jeans jacket.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh my gosh, you're speaking my 2000s.
Yep, with like big chunky highlights.
Great.
Yeah.
Good times, man.
Oh, shitters. Well, I don't know how easy it would. I mean, obviously she still kept her first name.
Right.
It would be hard to change your name.
Yeah. I mean, I am too forgetful.
Yeah,
I feel like I would never respond to it.
You'd be like, this bitch must be hard of hearing.
Right. Well, it was a running joke in high school because people would be like, Kristen, KJ, Amber. And I'd be like, oh, wait, what?
Me?
Or as
Awesome.
Robin dubbed me, Cajun.
Yeah.
Okay.
She put a fucking Cajun McChicken wrapper in my locker
I loved those.
I know.
on Parents' Day. So I opened my locker, which I never did because I never kept anything in my fucking locker because who does that?
Yeah.
And I opened it and there was a Cajun McChicken wrapper in it. My mom got so mad and she thought I was being bullied. And I'm like, no, it's Robin.
I wrote a note on it.
She did.
It was like, I love you because you're so spicy, my Cajun baby, or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's adorable.
But as soon as my mom heard it was Robin, she was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
All is well.
Yeah.
Oh, shitters. I gave Robin a name when I was drunk once.
Reuben,
Yeah.
it stuck.
It did. It's a good one.
Yeah.
It is good.
Well, and it helped that you drove the mustard stang.
I feel it in my soul.
I was just drunk and didn't say your name correctly, but
Nah.
that's cool.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, we said we weren't going to chit chat, but
I
we totally
know.
turned that
I'm
into
sorry.
a chit chat.
Okay, do you guys have the questions pulled up? Who wants
I
to
do.
ask?
I can. Well, we did. No. Yeah. Okay. So, our questions are courtesy of Book Lovers Book Club on Tumblr again because we like her questions. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Thanks, girl.
Credit where credit is due. All right. So the first question is, what do you think about Jace's lying to Clary and his family to make sure Clary didn't come to Idris? And mind you, I have not read these questions, so I just knew that the other ones were good. So
Boo.
You
Still
said
don't like it.
Lying, right?
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I guess in a normal people, I would say like just have a, like you said, be an adult, have a conversation.
Right.
That's not going to work for her or for him.
Well, no, because both parties need to be adults.
Right. Exactly. I don't know. I think maybe if Jace would have went to Luke and maybe explained like
His fears and what's going on, and
yeah, he could have helped.
And
that a little bit more eloquently.
And even if Luke didn't agree with him and think, no, we shouldn't allow her to go or whatever. I think Luke could have talked some sense into Jace and made him more understanding of the scenario. And then maybe they all could have had a conversation with Clary about, we need to make sure we don't tell the Clave about your fucking magic abilities because that's dangerous.
Don't spill the magic beans.
Yes.
Ooh, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it seems silly to not want her to go somewhere that's so safe. Like, the whole thing just irritated me. Like, she's going to be left behind with literally just Simon and Luke.
Right.
That's it. Like, don't you want there to be people watching out for her?
Right.
I don't know. I didn't like any of that.
I know.
Not my jam.
It's frustrating. And, like, these are the kinds of scenarios that, like, as a writer, are really hard to write because, like, you have to have conflict, right? Like, that's what makes a plot, it makes a story move, right? Like, you have to have conflict. But the most obnoxious thing is having a conflict where the only conflict is that they're not talking.
Right.
Right? like if you just communicated, then everything would be fixed. Like it wouldn't be this drama.
Like you were talking about watching Seinfeld now.
Uh-huh.
Half of the sitcom wouldn't have been a sitcom if they just had cell phones.
Yep.
Right.
Literally.
Right?
I loved that show, but I'm just so frustrated. Just send them a text, dude. Sometimes, like on Outlander, too. It'd be like, if only you had a phone. Just tweet it.
I was just thinking about that today because I watched an episode. I was like, can't you just send a letter? And I was like, well, it'd take months to get there. Like, no, you can't just send a letter. Anyway.
But yeah, I think that's one of the things that drives me nuts about like stuff like this. But at the same time, they're teenagers. They're insecure. They're not going to fucking talk to each other.
Well, and I think Jace thinks he knows best.
Yeah, of course.
And I think he is convincing himself that he's doing the right thing. So he doesn't need to seek counsel.
Right. Well, Jace is nothing if not arrogant. Right. Let's be honest. Like he's, that's part of his development as a character is that he needs to learn to rely on other people because he has felt so isolated and he's isolated himself over the years and he, I'm the only one I can depend on and, that kind of a thing. And I mean, he's got abandonment issues from, Daddy V-Tang and all of that stuff. But that's part of his development is that he has to learn to rely on other people. And we see a little bit of that with his relationship with Luke blossoming. But like, it's hard not to have a great relationship with Luke because he's amazing.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I think we cover that. Anything else to add? No? All right. Next question. If you were Jace, would you have pulled Simon through the portal? Amanda, go.
Yes.
I wish we had a picture of your face.
I mean, it was either that or he died, really. So, yeah, I think definitely.
Yeah, if Magnus couldn't have done anything to help. I don't know. I don't think there was enough time to assess the situation.
Right.
So we acted.
Yeah.
Which, knowing what we know now that happened to him, I think he would have been safer with Magnus trying to do something to,
I forgot Magnus was left behind. So, yeah.
Magnus probably could have done something. But at that point in time, he didn't know what was going to happen to him. So I probably would have too.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because once they went through, they dissipated, right? The warrior fog, demonic fog, and the Forsaken, right?
We don't get to know what happened.
Yeah.
I think Magnus said that they disappeared.
It sounds possible, yeah.
I can't remember. But yeah, I mean, I think
it's not.
I think
that
it's a
scene is
no-brainer,
not written in first person.
Right.
Is what I guess what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, we hear about it back. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's the only logical answer is like, of course you would. It's the only thing that you can do, right? Like, you don't have time to be like, hey, buddy, can you hold mid-swing while we discuss the logistics of this?
Let my guy get away.
Yeah.
And then we'll go.
Right? All right, next question. Would you rather Simon be with Maya or Isabel?
Amanda's like unhappy and alone.
So stay with your mother forever.
Right.
I don't know. I would probably say Maya. Just because they seem the most alike.
Okay.
Yeah, because she obviously dresses down. She seems more like Clary.
Uh-huh.
And so it seems like more of who he'd be interested in. Isabel seems way too out of his league.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I wish they had a little bit more interaction with him with both
Yeah.
characters, because I think I want to go into other stuff and I just can't.
Right.
It's physically painful.
Yeah.
Without spoiling too much, I think both relationships, what am I trying to say? I think they both have a positive effect on the other person, but
Gotcha.
differently.
Right.
So like him with Isabel has a positive reaction or effect on Isabel and on Simon. And then Simon with Maya is the same thing.
But they're just different.
It's just different.
Right.
But we don't explore that
Yeah.
in this book series, obviously. I don't know. I think that's a question better suited for another
Yeah.
book.
Right.
I say Simon and Isabel because I like the opposites attract kind of a situation.
Sure.
And I think that Simon is the kind of person that Isabel needs in her life. I feel like because she chases the wrong kind of guy because she's looking for shallow, not real connection.
Like a vampire.
A daylighter.
Yeah.
But I see a lot of my younger like self in Isabel, and that whole like, yeah, I want relationships but not real ones. Like I want surface, relationship or whatever, and like because she wants to keep commitment at bay, whereas Simon, like you can't have that relationship with Simon. He's just not that kind of person to like successfully, like he's gonna worm his way in, right?
Yeah, we know. He's going to force himself.
I meant emotionally.
I mean physically. What are you doing, pooping? I'm right here. You need anything?
He puts his hand underneath the door.
Like a cat.
Yeah.
My kid does that, dude, every time. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think I guess you're going to get into a little more. I think Simon is good for Isabel. And I think Isabel is good for Simon.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think we also just don't know enough about Maya to really root for her. I think Isabel is a more fleshed out character and her flaws are kind of laid bare. And so you know what it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what her issues are, right? Like at least in the general sense. Whereas Maya doesn't really seem to have any flaws. So she's not, like we get a little bit of her past, like
She has some, yeah.
right.
Yeah.
We know what like her previous life was, but at this point she doesn't really seem, she's strong, she's competent, she's level-headed,
She's well adjusted.
she's
to her
well
life.
she's well adjusted. There's nothing really about her that is like, she doesn't have anything that gives her depth as a person. So we don't really know her well enough to like root for her, because I think at least for me, my initial sense is I want to root for the person that's the most tragic, because that's just my life. But that's the one that I'm like, I love the underdog. You know?
I usually root for the underdog too.
And for Izzy, I'm like, she's the one person that needs love the most and doesn't
Especially
want
right
it.
now.
And so I'm like, you have to. I love it.
Yeah. I like the idea of him getting with Maya and then not being around as much, first of all.
Right.
But also, I think it would be good for him and Clary to have a little bit of separation, because if he's dating Isabel, they're together all the time.
Right.
And he's probably comparing still and seeing, her and
Gotcha.
Jace together and stuff like that too.
See, and I think he would do that with Maya more, because Maya is so much like Clary.
That's fair.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
where she,
Whereas like Isabel and Claire are nothing alike.
Yeah.
right. I don't think, never mind.
Okay.
I know how.
I know. It's hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that Maya and Clary are similar, which is, I think, one of the things. Obviously, Maya's like beautiful, but apart from that, I think it's one of those things that's
Drawing him to her.
getting
Okay.
him interested. Yeah.
Gotcha. Like she feels comfortable, like safe.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like a warm blanket.
I need one of those.
Okay, next question. When did you start to suspect Sebastian?
Oh. I don't remember.
I remember, like, when I first, obviously, like, I've read it before. But,
Right.
like, I remember being uncomfortable. I didn't necessarily I knew there was something going on with him, with the overly familiar, like the way he was behaving felt off. And so I was like, what the fuck is this guy's deal? But like, I didn't suspect he was Valentine's spy. Like, that wasn't like,
definitely.
yeah.
I think I started to get weirded out vibes when they went to Maragner's house.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't know.
Yeah, that date. Yeah.
Well, even like, because obviously when he like flips on Clary at Fairchild Manor, like,
Yeah.
You're like, bro, weirdness. Yeah.
But even before that, he was being not.
He was like,
aggressive
come
in-
on, you're spending the day with me. That's where I think I was like, nah.
Overly familiar.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. It felt like he was trying to have the relationship with her that she and Jace have.
Yeah.
Like, the way that Jace could be like, hey, we're going to go do this. And she'd be like, okay, cool, whatever, I'm game. Like, I feel like he was trying, but I'm like, no one knows you, dude. Like,
But he hadn't seen them interact to even know
Right.
that they had that sort
That's
of
fair.
Right.
Yeah.
relationship. I think again, this is me, so I remember things incorrectly all the time. So please correct me if I'm wrong. But wasn't he sort of not... So he's very chivalrous, right? That's his thing that he's been. We've seen him be like, "Oh, good sir," to Simon,
Right?
And like make Aline's behavior and like kind of, or
The
even
coat.
Alex and like Alec
Apostrophe S.
behavior where he's just very like a gentleman, and then you kind of see him interact with Magnus, and he's not nice to him,
Right.
Right.
and he just it's like a dime where he switches, and it's like, okay, so you're obviously two-faced.
Uh-huh.
Ew, it's like when you go on a date with a guy and he's rude to the waiter.
Exactly.
And you're like, excuse you.
Exactly. Where it's just like, okay, this isn't,
Yeah.
okay,
I see you.
Yeah. That's exactly what it's like. It's like, oh, I know everything about you and I'm not interested.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. And then, of course, like we said, obviously when he grabs Clary, that's the giant red flag.
Yeah.
But I don't think I would have suspected of him being
No.
No, I
all of that.
agree.
But I think
I just thought he was a creep.
he was sus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that thinking back about everything, like, I guess I would just think he's a bad guy that we're gonna have to fight off again, like another wrench in the spokes. But definitely did not think a spy
Right.
or the real Eminem.
The real Slim Shady.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so the next question we might not answer. I'm going to ask the question and then we can decide whether we're going to include it or not. Question is, do you think Sebastian is dead?
I mean, he has to not be because he disappeared.
Right. I feel like it's pretty, like, there's something going on. Like, he can't be all the way gone because he's disappeared. So they left that open-ended for a
She
reason.
specifically put in there that his body disappeared for a reason.
Right.
That was a plot device.
Yeah.
Yep.
Duh.
Okay. Next question. If you were in Clary's position, would you have asked the angel for Jace back, or would you have asked for something bigger, such as world peace?
I think she's talked about why she didn't do that.
Right.
I don't know. I probably would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, maybe something a little bigger, like bring back everyone I love, include my grandparents, something like that. I don't know. But it was a pretty narrow thing to focus on.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, and in the heat of the moment, obviously.
Yeah, he's right there in front of her.
Plus, I think that she did a good job of explaining away, like Amanda said, the whole like world peace and, all that other stuff. But he specifically said, like, I'm not a genie. Like,
Right.
like you can't be like, I wish for you to give me more wishes.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Which, I mean, I know this is stupid or whatever, but when everyone's like, oh, make a wish or whatever, it's like, that people in my life are happy and healthy. Like, those are the main,
That's so sweet.
whatever. Those are the always. So it's like, well, if Jace is dead, he's neither happy nor healthy. So I think that I probably would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would have been a little more selfish in that position because I wouldn't have even thought about world peace.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would have been like, yeah, bring him back. Like,
Hello.
Yeah.
right.
Well, especially like if I am physically Clary, like, yeah, that's her entire world.
Mhm.
Like,
Uh-huh.
obviously. And to me, I'd feel like that would be the same thing as like my husband or
Yep.
yeah. There's no way.
I don't think I would have. I definitely wouldn't have thought of like bring back someone else that I let. Like I would have been fully in the situation, and I would have. The only thing that I would have been thinking about was like Jace's death was unjust, and so I would want to change that. Like I don't think I would think about anything beyond the scope. I would have tunnel vision for sure.
Yeah, and I'm realizing right now as we're talking about this that I feel like she didn't really have the right reaction after he was killed. Like, it seemed like she was still really just watching, and I think I would just be broken. Like, I don't think I'd give a fuck about the angel or what Valentine was doing. If Jace is my whole world, I'm just going to be completely...
Oh, I wouldn't have the.
Just-
I don't know that I would have the presence of mind to like change the rune and
Yeah.
do all this stuff. Yeah, I don't know that I would do that either.
Mhm.
I mean, obviously she couldn't like do much because she couldn't speak
Right.
or move, but still, I don't know that I would just be like. I would be staring at it. I wouldn't be paying attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's why we didn't have a big reaction. I think, because she was
going to do what she did.
well, and she was bound.
Yeah, I guess that's
and,
true.
like, gagged,
That's true.
Basically.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So she couldn't, have a big reaction. I don't know. I just I think Raziel also was like, I don't got all day. Like,
Yeah.
what do you want?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna sit here and like, because he's like, they're coming. Like, come
Yeah.
on, what are you doing? And she's like, Jay, stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, I don't even know that I would have noticed Jace dying because I would have been having a panic attack about not being able to speak.
Dude, for real.
Like, I would have been in my own dimension, just like
Awesome.
losing my ever-loving mind. Like, that is my worst fear. It's horrible. It's horrifying.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even fucking notice. I'm like,
Bye.
whoa, there's a big dude in the lake. Didn't
Yeah.
notice that. Oh, okay. Next question. Did you ever suspect the consul?
No. Mm-mm. I guess as I'm saying that, I was thinking of Malakai for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh, that is. Okay. I was thinking of Quizzy 2 times.
Malakai, he's your
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah. No, I didn't at all. Not at all.
Especially, I think, the first time I was reading it so fast that there was no time for my brain to think about
Yeah.
what was coming next.
I thought he was shady. Like, I thought he was corrupt.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh yeah, you're a fucking piece of shit. But like, I never thought he was with Valentine.
Yeah.
I just thought he was just like a terrible person.
Right.
Well, exactly. Well, and you think with him, he was so convincing about, like, there's a spy, like, the Lightwoods, like,
Yeah.
yeah, the spy's you, bitch.
Yep.
Right.
No
But
wonder you're so convincing. You know all about it.
Yeah. But he did such a good job
Yeah.
that it was kind of the same way. Like,
It was
this-
a good red herring for sure.
well, like, this guy's such a dick.
Yeah.
He's willing to do whatever it takes to
Yeah.
make sure Valentine doesn't come into power. Like, it was it was well written.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That
Yeah,
was a good
for
one.
sure.
Well, we kind of passed over it a little bit. Like, it wasn't even a big thing, which I think we could have focused on that a little bit more.
Right. Like, he got murdered by a bird.
That's
Murder
right.
birds.
Yeah.
Murder birds.
Uh,
So, yeah, but no, I would have never. I was just like, he's a dick.
yeah.
Yeah. It made me wonder. I was wondering who the spy was. Like, who is the spy? Like,
But-
who are these people?
I didn't even think there was really a spy. Honestly,
Oh,
I
okay.
was like, I just think that Valentine knows shit. Like, I
Right.
think he's like, I never knew, or I never suspected like any named character was a spy. I just thought like, he
Just
just
some
knows shit.
background person or
Yeah.
something. So my question is, if he's a spy, he must have been in the circle, right? But like, how did Maris and Robert not know? If they were so high up in the circle, how did they not know who he was?
And think
I mean-
about the circle members that we know of and like where their punishments were and like stuff like they were punished severely.
Yeah.
Like, the Penhallows were in the circle, but they left way before the uprising.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they didn't have, like, they weren't as...
They didn't really fall for all the... Because, I mean,
Yeah.
they talked about it. It was talked about at first. Valentine had some good points.
Mm-hmm.
The clave needs to change. We need to do these things. You know, and that's when Jocelyn was
Right.
jumping on board and everything. So I imagine that if you fell for that stuff, it's because he was saying good things at the time.
Right.
At the very beginning.
Get these crusty musties out of here.
I
Yeah.
should correct myself. The Penhallows were not in. It was Patrick that was in,
Yeah.
and then he left because he wanted to get the fuck out of there, but way before the uprising or whatever. But like, so those people weren't, because they left, so they weren't, you know, included in. But all the rest of them were treated like literal garbage.
Yeah.
So he couldn't have been like an open member. Otherwise, he would have never been consul.
Yeah.
When did he become consul? Can we look at that?
I don't know.
Like,
You want to check the wiki?
because here's the thing. You know how Valentine is.
Yeah.
When he's like, "You're my super special guy."
Right.
Like, let's keep our like love connection secret. And if he was consul the whole time, maybe he approached him.
Right. Like he knew he was vulnerable for falling for his tricks because he
Right.
didn't like Downworlders or whatever.
And he
yeah.
like maybe like if anything ever comes up, I'll have this inside like.
Well, so when Valentine was his like projection or whatever, and he's talking to Malakai, and Claire is just behind a fucking pillar, no big deal.
Right.
And he like didn't clear the room. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. If you're gonna go into a smaller room.
Look behind you. Turn on a light. Jesus.
Turn on a witch light.
Right.
Come on.
Angel light.
But when he was talking, he was like, "I've always been your faithful servant," or whatever. So yeah, like it had to been on the DL.
Right.
Okay, so I'm looking
Yeah.
at the wrong.
Maybe
thing.
the consul was really young and he wasn't of age yet, and he was like someone's brother.
Maybe.
Although Amatis was punished because of her brother, so maybe not. I don't know. Oh, but that was by Valentine.
Yeah. I don't know. I see. This is just yet another reason why we need a book about the circle.
Yes, definitely. Yes. Sorry.
Normally, I'm not into the like prequel from the villain's point of view kind of a thing. Like the whole Hunger Games President's. I'm not interested at all in that.
Okay, I didn't even know there was.
It just got released this year.
Oh,
This
okay.
past year. But yeah, I'm not interested at all. I'm like, yeah, I don't give a fuck about him.
Uh-huh.
But Valentine is such an intriguing character, and his relationships are what are really intriguing. Because like, okay, so I'm going to counter him with President Snow. President Snow, other than his granddaughter, which is like vague, he doesn't have any relationships with anybody. He's literally evil personified. Whereas Valentine like made people fall in love with him, and like he had all these like really strong relationships.
Yeah.
They were one-sided because he was playing them.
Because he's a total psychopath.
Right. But he was able to lure these people in, and I think that's what's interesting, and I want to know more. Tell us.
I wasn't listening to you because I was reading.
Okay.
So sounds great.
Okay.
So basically, this is on the wiki, of course. Malakai had been consul for more or less 16 years. He lived through the uprising, and when the Inquisitor died in the battle, he named Imogen Herondale as a replacement.
Oh.
So he was consul back then. So maybe Valentine approached him on his own. And like I said, he was like, "Hey, will you be my super special guy on the inside?"
Interesting.
Because, okay. So this is but it doesn't, it says at least 16 years, right? Is that what it says?
There's no start date. It just says until when 2007.
Okay, so let's play it both ways. So let's play it. He was the consul before the uprising. And he would, I mean, it would have been on the DL because he wouldn't have been able to be in the circle like as the clave, you know, whatever. So that would have already been on the DL. And maybe he was like hoping that would happen, like the coup would happen, and then he would be on the inner circle of the new government.
What if Valentine set him up to be the consul, so that way when he won the uprising, it would just be a seamless transition.
Oh.
Right.
Because he would already be in power.
Right.
And like, join me, Dark Lords.
Yeah.
But since everything went awry at the uprising, he
Right.
just kept it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what yeah.
V-Ting's
hush
gone.
hush.
I'm just here.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
It would
sense.
because it would make more sense that Valentine would have more pull before the uprising, obviously, than after.
Yeah. Mhm.
So it would make more sense that he was placed there before than
Yep.
after. Gotcha.
That's exactly what happened. We don't need a book. We just figured it out.
Yep.
Right?
Write it.
We're looking for Blue's Clues.
Fuck yeah. We wrote it in our handy dandy notebook.
That's right. We just figured out Blue's Clues. I was thinking, because I'm hungry, that next time we get together, we should just have a big ass plate of sushi in the middle.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
My family, well, Bryn eats sushi, but she's expensive.
My kids too.
Dude, I'm like, she's like, she wants the good shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Jason doesn't eat sushi, so.
Ugh, I was gonna say I would die. No. I was very lucky that my husband and my children will eat sushi. They're obsessed. Everybody.
He gets ramen when we go to the sushi
Oh, yeah,
place,
that's
but-
fair.
Yeah.
I introduced
good.
Audrey to seared salmon, so now she wants it all the time. And I'm like, that's expensive.
Yeah.
Are you sure you don't want to just keep eating pot stickers?
That's great.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, next question. Do you think Alec's parents will be expecting Do you think Alec's parents will be accepting of his relationship with Magnus now that they know?
Yes. Because didn't we see them shaking hands with him?
Yeah.
We did see that. I think that they've been through, the Lightwoods have been through so much loss. Like, they just lost Max. They're not
Yeah.
going to lose Alec over something as stupid as that.
Right.
Yeah, that definitely would put things into perspective
Yeah.
for sure.
Maybe before.
Mm-hmm.
They would have been more judgy. Yeah.
But now it's like, I don't know. I don't think they would put themselves in the position to losing another
Right.
child.
Yeah. Well, and I don't think they're going to be inviting Magnus over for dinner parties and like doing like pottery classes together. Like I don't think that like they're going to be like besties, but I don't think that they're going to stand in the way or be antagonistic about it.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wonder, because I agree with you, but do you think that's because he's a warlock? Or...
At this point,
Mm-hmm.
it's still taboo to be
Right.
with.
To be gay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
So I think it's a combination.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would have been a lot easier if he was a shadow hunter. I think they would have been like, okay, yeah, whatever. Like, I don't care. It's not that big of a deal. But the fact that it's like a double whammy.
Right.
Like, he's got a dick and magic. He's got a magic dick.
I got the magic dick. Oh, geez Louise. Yeah, that's a good point, Robin, that they kind of have to. Yeah.
Yeah, like, what else are you going to fucking do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and Alec made a strong statement. So
Right.
the cat's out of the bag.
Everybody
it's not like,
knows.
I think if he, and I think Alec did it in the perfect way for him, in the perfect way for his situation, because I think if he would have done it privately, they might have tried to convince him to keep it hush hush because of like, oh, what will people think or whatever. But like, he didn't give them an option. He's like, this is me. Fucking hear me roar, bitch.
Yeah. Or they might have tried to
Maybe I
convince
was born
him.
this way.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe they would have tried to convince him that he was just, this was a rash decision and like something like that.
Fucking whatever.
If it was in
Blech.
private. Yeah.
Okay, so the next question is, do you think Magnus suspected Sebastian was evil when he froze him?
No.
I don't think he suspected he was evil,
He was an outsider.
but I think he was suspicious of him. He was
Okay.
like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, not in like the, oh, he's Valentines Spy or anything way, you know, but I think he was like, I don't know who this guy is. Why? And also, Magnus is old.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a lot of life experience. It's weird for someone who has never, like, you know that this person has never met this guy. And now all of a sudden he's like jumping on like.
Well, he called Magnus before or something like that,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, I would be like, what's your angle? Like, I don't know that that Magnus would have like been like, evil, I got you. You know, I think it would have been more like this guy's working an angle and I don't know what it is, so I'm going to be leery.
Mm-hmm. When he wants the book,
Yeah.
and he needs to protect his Ragnar's secrets,
Right.
his secrets, everything else, and he wants the book. So of course he's not going to share that information with somebody that's not
Right.
In their circle.
Outside the need to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I
Hate
don't think
saying
he.
circle.
Yeah, I don't think he thought he was evil at that point. I think
No.
it was just a healthy dose of suspicion.
Yeah. Moving on.
Yeah.
If Valentine were your father, would you have gone to his funeral?
If I was Jace or Clary.
Right.
If you were Jace.
Oh,
Father's in quotation, so I'm assuming we're talking about Jace.
at my age at this moment, I would go because you can't get that time back.
Yeah.
Like you can't go back and then decide that you're gonna revisit a funeral. But if I was 17, no, probably not.
I 100% agree. I think we've talked about it in an episode. Funerals really seem like they're the place to.
They're for the living, not for the dead.
Yeah, and it's definitely somewhere for you to just get it all out, and then you can start to move forward with your own. You know, it sucks moving forward without the person you lost, but that's that's how it's kind of. So yeah, I agree 100%. As a child, no. As an adult, yes.
I would have gone as a child or an adult, but I think my motivation would have been different. Like as an adult, I would see it as like a healthy opportunity to like cope and, sort through my feelings and whatever.
All those
but, like,
good memories. Yeah.
Right. But as a teenager, it would be FOMO. I'd want to know like what's going on, and I would also want to make sure he was dead. I feel like I wouldn't believe, because Valentine's so much larger than life. That's like I would need to be able to see it to like
Process it.
yeah.
I got you.
And also I'd want to know like who the fuck else was around,
Yeah.
because I'm a nosy bitch.
I think I'd be like, no, fuck that guy. No. Like, because even we were like, why is he even getting a funeral?
Oh yeah.
It seems weird. So.
But I think that would intrigue me more.
right.
Is like I wouldn't expect him to get a funeral, but because he got one, I'd be like morbid curiosity. I'd be like, what
Yeah.
the fuck is going on?
Who planned that? Like, who's in charge now? Who planned this funeral for V-Tang?
I don't know.
Maris?
The
Could
Shadow
you
Brothers.
imagine?
Shadow Brothers? Like, I want to know who's in charge now. Luke, I guess, is kind of the most in charge, it seems like. I don't know.
Yeah.
The Penhollows? Anyway, I'm just listing people off.
Yeah, we don't know who's gonna be, because we're down an Inquisitor and a Consul.
Yeah.
Now we fucked.
And probably a lot of clave, or I don't know how big the clave is, but I'm assuming some of them died in the fight. Battle
Royale. All right, last question. Do you think the Clave will want Clary as a weapon now?
Yes.
I think it depends on who's in charge.
Yeah.
And how they use. I think either way she'll be used, but yeah, as a weapon or just as a weapon.
Like if Maris is in charge, I think she would be safe. Like I don't think Maris is going to be the consul because of all the crap that happened.
I agree.
But if she was in charge,
Yeah.
I think that she would make sure that she was safe. And with
But I don't think Maris is above using her power if it would
To
suit her.
convince her
but I think
in a
it
nice
would be
way.
more like a, hey, can you like
I need your help. It would be
we're
more
family,
Yeah.
do us a favor.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
She like brings her a pop.
She's like, hey,
boo."
Magnus Clary, I'm so glad you could join me.
Right.
McClary.
Yeah, McClary.
I just a bad person I think would definitely take advantage. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's split, because you're right. It depends on who's the governing body, because I think they might want to exploit it, or they might want to bury it because it's too scary. Like I don't want her learning how to use it better. I don't want, because it's a threat.
Yeah, to them and,
Yeah.
and their power.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't know. But those are all the questions from Tumblr. We did have one note. Were you surprised by the big reveal? This is for Amanda.
Yeah.
You were?
Uh-huh. I definitely was. I remember the first time. Was it in cheekbones when we found out they were brother and sister. I just remember like reading it and then going, okay, have to hold on to this for the podcast. And then I saw Robin the next day and I was like, they're brother and sister. Like I just could not. And I was definitely less surprised when I found out they weren't, but definitely.
Because their relationship was so developed, you're like, they cannot be. Like, we want them to be together so bad that it's impossible for them to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised, but I can't say I was shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck it, finally.
Yeah. Oh, I am so excited.
Yeah.
This is great. I really liked these books, obviously, because I
Yes.
continued and everything. But man, the next set are so good.
I'm so excited.
The hype is real.
The hype is real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be great. I'm so excited. Oh. And the characters are so delicious.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see the growth from a writing perspective between these first 3 and the Infernal Devices series.
Okay.
I think the development of the characters is richer.
Does she write anything else? Like, or is this her main focus?
She's co-writing another fantasy series with another author, I believe.
That would be interesting to co-write.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, and pretend, like when your kids were little, and pretend that I just threw a flame ball at your face. And you'd be like, bitch, no, that's stupid.
Dude, my cousins and we would spend the entire time setting up the pretend world. And be like, okay, and then da-da-da. But like we never actually play.
Yeah.
It was all set up.
My kids, it was usually in the car. And pretend. And I'm like, can we just literally say all of this is pretend? You don't have to keep repeating yourself. Okay, Mom. Okay. And then they would just forget.
You have to say and pretend. Otherwise, they'll think it's real.
You're right.
It was Audrey wanted to play, but then she just wanted to do what she wanted to do. So it was like, and then you knock on the door. I was like, but I'm in the bath. Then you knock on the door. Just like, oh, okay.
She clearly needed a little brother.
She was a boss bitch from day one.
Oh.
Did you knock on the door?
Oh, jeez.
Oh my
Louise.
gosh.
That's great.
Yeah. So next week we will be diving in.
Yay.
Very
I'm
exciting.
gonna quit saying I'm excited because we all know.
Yeah.
We
needed a thesaurus because we don't know another word.
Yes. I was going to say stoked, but no.
hyped,
Yeah.
stoked, excited, ready, rearing.
All of the above.
Yeah.
Okay, so that brings us to me repeating myself. Make sure that you've read the prologue called Prologue.
So
and
witty.
Chapter 1, The Dark House in, I was going to say City of Clockwork.
That works.
Clockwork Angel for our next episode.
For behind the scenes content and the latest updates, check us out on Instagram at Downworlder Podcast. We'll see you next time. Bye.